Yeah. Yeah. Shit is out there, we like to party. Listen up, yeah, it's time to start. Live the good life.
Hey babies. Oh. Hey babies, I hope you're all safe and well and spreading love, light and positivity everywhere you go. Today is just a video where we're going to catch up together. So if you are new, welcome to my channel and I hope you enjoy this little talk I'm going to have with you guys about self-love. If you do enjoy the video, please do not forget to subscribe. There are plenty other things that we do here, whether it be fashion hauls, talks about self-love, just simple vlogs. You are in my diary. And if you are not new, welcome back my loves. I hope you're all safe and well. And I hope you are spreading the love, light and positivity I give to you onto other people. So today's video, I actually did it before, as I said to you in my previous video, and I look like a crazy person, so I didn't edit it and I didn't upload it. So I thought, let's talk about this today. Previously a few people have asked me where I got my confidence from, and I've always avoided the subject because I never know really how to address it, because I've never really looked at myself as a outwardly confident person. I think people confuse self-love with confidence. I'm not overtly confident. I'm actually quite a shy person. I don't like being the center of attention. I don't like people stopping to talk to me on the streets. It stems from like the previous bad habits I have from when I had a lack of self-love. So the question, when I say it's really hard for me to answer, for anyone who knows me or watches my videos knows that I tend to find it really hard to get to the point because I feel like there's no like one way to answer the question. However, I will do my best. So I spent a lot of my childhood years not loving myself, and I really had to figure out as I became an adult where that lack of self-love came from, because that is what represented my lack of confidence. That's what reflected in my lack of confidence. And when I grew up, I had a lot of people around me, so I didn't look in the mirror and think there was something wrong with me, but I had a lot of people telling me there was something wrong with me, a lot of people comparing me to others. I would do loads and loads of crash diets, specifically because my mum was always on crash diets, down to just drinking herbal teas, to having me run track marathons. I would go away to the Caribbean. My nan lives in Jamaica, so I'm half Jamaican, so I would go away to Jamaica, and my nan, I remember I had a conversation, told me she didn't want me to die of diabetes. I was 9 years old and probably, let's say, a UK size 10 to 12, which yes, I guess that is, big to some people, but I've always been chubby. I've always been there. And then when I was in a relationship, I'd picked up all the bad habits that I had with my mum, with her being like obsessed with constantly losing weight, and like people on my dad's side of the family, the girls were always very slim, that I would always live in my own world, but everybody else would just remind me that I'm not the same. And that took a toll on me in my adulthood. I was always on constant diets, juice diets, Cambridge 400 calorie diets. And the one time I drastically lost weight, I was very, very slim. I can put a picture here if you'd like, if I can find it. I had the worst case of body dysmorphia I've ever had in my entire life. Like, I was scared to eat food. I remember my partner at the time went and bought us fish and chips, and I cried because I was like, you're just going to make me fat. Like, I'm instantly going to put on all this weight and you're just going to make me fat. I remember being on holiday on my birthday and I burst out into tears because I thought I looked terrible when I was like the slimmest I had ever been. And that was me literally starving myself. And it was in that moment that I was like, this lack of self-love that I have for myself has been engraved from others. So I spent a lot of time when I realized that I didn't actually have a problem with how I looked. Like when I looked in the mirror, I didn't hate myself, but I disliked what other people pointed out. The only thing I've ever had an issue with is my arms. I think I have very chunky arms. I don't like it up until this day. But other than that, I really was not bothered, because I generally was just like, I'm a really nice person. So when I came out of that kind of body dysmorphia section, I started to heavily go to the gym. Wasn't necessarily watching what I was eating too much. I think I was doing like that whole 1,200 calories fitness app, MyFitnessPal. And then I would go to the gym on my lunch. I would go to the gym after work, 5 days a week. And then I would walk like 5 miles every Wednesday to go see my niece and nephew. So like I worked here, the gym was here, and my niece and nephew lived over this way. So I would just incorporate it into like my everyday life, my everyday journey. And I still wasn't slim, guys. I was still a solid size 12 to 14. And I was doing all the right things. And it was when, in that moment, when I realized outwardly that I was doing all the right things. I was eating a balanced diet. I was extremely healthy. I was extremely fit. And people still had a problem with how I looked. It just clicks. Like, the problem is not me, because I'm doing all the right things. Like, people be like, oh my God, I remember when I first came out on social media and people were like, oh my God, you whale, you this, you that. And I'd be like, but I can outrun you. I can out bench press you. Like, I'm extremely fit. So there's nothing you can say to me to make me feel less than. And as soon as I realized that as long as I am doing the correct things, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. And then from that, I then started to work on my mental, to really push myself to learn nobody else's opinions of me matter. Look, if you know that you don't overeat, if you know that you're exercising, that you're, I don't know, not necessarily doing your meditation, but you're taking care of yourself, then every other insult that anyone can hurl at me or hurl at you should be nothing. Should be moo. It's a moo point. No one cares what a cow has to say. Like, moo. Okay, you think I'm fat. Don't really care. What do you want me to do about it? This is how I was built. So if I'm constantly doing the right thing and I'm still this shape, then I'm gonna love me in this shape. I'm gonna love the structure of myself. And then it just allowed me to remove the power of other people's words, because they had no point. They were so fixated on my outside that all of their reasons for insulting me on a physical aspect was for my insides, but I was healthy. So I think that's how you have to look at things. Like, do your best to be a good version of who you are, your best version of yourself. Now, if you are someone who is, I don't really feel like conforming to what my BMI should be. Like, no one should be exactly the same. Sorry, that doesn't make any sense. Everyone's biologically, we're all completely different. Yeah, like genetically, we're all different. So why would you strive to be a version of yourself that somebody else wants you to be? As long as you know that you're not unhealthy, like you're not unhealthy. If I get to points where I feel like I'm unhealthy, it doesn't make me love myself less. Sorry guys, I had to move because my battery was dying. Whenever my battery dies, it changes like the setting of my camera as well. And yes, I did move to my kitchen because it was the closest plug socket. So I don't want to move to your office space. Don't know guys, this made a lot more sense. But where was I? No one was made to be exactly the same. And I think people really have to learn to absorb other people's words, understanding. I think people really need to learn to really need to learn how to hear other people's words without absorbing them into ourselves. If you know you are doing the best that you can to be the most efficient, the best person, like you're simply living. Like, who wants to survive on like diets and salads, and because the world tells you you're not slim enough, where somebody else gets to live their best life, because they have a fast metabolism and no one cares what they do or how they do, or how mentally stable or mentally healthy they are or physically healthy they are inside. And that's kind of where I got my confidence. I was just like, my skin is the skin that I'm in. My body has stretch marks because it's had a journey of me losing weight and putting on weight and ups and downs. That's not disgusting. That's how the body is. Like, I don't know how the world and society is convinced anyone. I would just say women, but I know I do have like I would say women because I do think it targets women substantially. I don't understand how society has made us think like the normal aspects of our body, transitions, living and breathing, are negative. Like, there's negative connotations attached to them. Stretch marks are ugly. Okay, but they're there. And I will tell you now, there is no aspect of when I was bigger, smaller, in between, that has ever stopped me from being the person I want to be, has ever stopped me from getting the person I want to get. So start with self-love. Like, start with find out what is the core of why you feel like you need to change. And if the voice isn't coming from within you, then ignore it. Like, really, why do you care what other people think? If you look in the mirror and you think you look good, then go out and look good. I'm telling you, that will look 10 times more attractive to anybody than if you starve yourself and become a size 0. Anyone with strength anyway. And where you only want to attract people that are strong-minded, with strong personalities, with strength. You don't want weakness. So just don't be weak. And I know that sounds terrible. I know everybody's got their own journey to go on. But darlings, love yourself. Like, literally deep down, find what it is about yourself you dislike. Why do you dislike it? Get to the core root. And if those answers have nothing to do with you, then do some additional healing. Like, I've done therapy. I've done crying on the phone to the therapist, talking about my past traumas. But there's just some things that just don't need to be changed. Live your life. Live it the best way. You know how. The healthiest, and when I say healthy, I mean mentally. Everything starts with your mental. If you're in a mental space, a healthy mental space, then you will eat the correct foods or the balanced diets or whatever. But no more searching for endless perfection, because it doesn't exist. Like, from the moment I hit that section in life where I lost all the weight everyone wanted me to lose and everyone was telling me I look great, but I was crying when people would buy me specific foods or if I ate, I realized that their depiction of health was not healthy. Because everyone was praising me for how I physically looked and no one cared about the mental breakdown that I was having. So, guys, you're beautiful. Spread love and light everywhere you go. I always say this to you. And the reason why I say this is because it's a butterfly effect, a ricochet. The moment you are kind to someone else, that kindness flows on and on and on. So do your best to keep it going. And enjoy who you are. Alright. I'll see you in a week, guys. Some more hauls, some more vlogs, some more talks. If you did enjoy this talk, do subscribe. If you didn't, I'm really sorry that perhaps I didn't answer your question. If I did not answer your question, feel free to elaborate in the comments. But I did want to do the video because it's a constant question that's asked. And I don't look at my confidence like, oh my God, I'm confident. Just enjoy your being. You were created, like you're a creation of wonderful things. A walking miracle. Treat yourself well. Make sure you find time for yourself to meditate, to enjoy the finer things in life, whatever that is to you. Enjoy foods, but also do it in a way that you know, no matter what anybody else says, you know you are doing it in the best way possible. I hope this has helped somebody today, and I will see you in the week. Bye.